The egg is a relatively universal symbol that's used in many different places to represent the origin of the universe. We call it a cosmogonic symbol, meaning that it's a symbol that represents the origin of the universe. This universe starting off as an egg reappears in many different traditions. We have, first of all, in the Vedic tradition, and then it reappears in Zoroastrianism, in the Illyrian mythology, from which we get the Orphic myths, and that's the version that we have here, the Orphic egg with the serpent wrapped around it, which we'll talk about in a moment. And then it reappears also in Egyptian mythology, in Phoenician mythology. In China, we see it around the 1st century. Some Taoist monks use the egg as the origin of the universe in a story in which a giant called Pangu is born from an egg. As he's born, the egg splits in half, and one of the halves becomes the sky, and the other half becomes the earth. And as the giant grows, the two become more and more separate. We see it also in Finnish, Polynesian, Dogon mythology, amongst others, right? This particular one, this one with a snake, comes from the Orphic myths, the Orphic mysteries. And the reason this particular egg is wrapped around with a snake isn't because of any kind of story in which the egg from which came the universe was actually attacked in any way by any serpent or anything like that, but rather as a message to those people who would see this symbol that inside here is Phanes. Phanes being the god of light, the first original god, also called Protogonos. Phanes is represented with a serpent around him. Now, Phanes actually literally means bringer of light, and in the Orphic tradition, Phanes is the very first god, or at least the firstborn, because the egg is issued from Kronos and Ananke. Now, Kronos is the god of time, and Ananke is the goddess of inevitability. You might call it fate. And the two of them together brought forth this Orphic egg from which Phanes originated. Now, why is the serpent a symbol of Phanes? Well, because Phanes is also a symbol of thought. And he was a figure of interest for Carl Jung, who, as you can see, painted many versions of Phanes. You can see in Carl Jung's version shapes that are designed to look like eggs, exactly for the reasons that I've just described. Now, I spoke at some length last week about the demiurge, this usurper god who wanted to have a creation of his own. This was basically the theology of the Gnostics, the Christian Gnostics of the 1st century CE. And this demiurge takes power from the monad, the light source, the origin, the first god, to create his own world, the physical realm, which the Gnostics believed we were entrapped inside. This directly parallels what we have here, with Phanes being the light bringer, and Zeus later devours Phanes and gives the power of Phanes to the new gods of the pantheon on Mount Olympus. Now, this isn't regular Greek mythology, this is Orphic mythology, which we know mainly thanks to the works of Aristophanes. Now, there's another nice significance to this egg with a serpent wrapped around it. The serpent has an interesting dilemma now. It has the option to crack the egg open immediately for instant gratification, in which case it will get the meal of an egg. Alternatively, it can continue to warm the egg until the egg hatches for a much more satisfying meal. That's maybe also a consideration for one of the meanings of this symbol. Well, that's it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please remember to leave a thumbs up. It really helps me out, and to subscribe down below if you haven't already. Thanks ever so much for watching, and see you very soon with another video.